Alright, before we begin, I want to state that I do not condone any form of harassment, nor am I accusing anyone of anything. I also don't condone nor am I responsible for the unintended use of game mechanics. All I want to do is talk about an anomaly I find interesting, and discuss how sometimes the game doesn't always act like the devs intended to. That's all. With that out of the way, let's have some fun. Every single of Guild Wars 2's expansions gave us multiple new maps to explore, and every single of those come with a map-wide meta event. Some of these events remain relevant throughout the years, especially when they have decent rewards or when the event chain itself is rather quick to complete. While others fall off to the wayside due to being too complicated, not giving you enough rewards, or simply taking too long. And sometimes these events give more rewards than they should. We recently had such an example with the new meta in Inner Neos, which would reward the players with up to 2 Heroes Choice chests instead of a single one. And all of these chests, regardless of the map or expansion, are supposed to be capped to 1 per account per day. For this video, we won't be talking about this latest example, which was actually patched out a week after. We'll have to go back all the way to the launch of Path of Fire and the introduction of the Casino Blitz event in the Crystal Oasis. While the meta event itself isn't particularly rewarding in quantity of items, the event chain is so fast to complete, it makes for a really great way to pick up some extra rewards in mere minutes, or if you manage to join at the very last moment, in mere seconds. All you have to do is help collect casino coins around the free city of Amnoon, which will then lead to a bonus event and spawn a legendary Choya Piñata. Every first kill of the day will give you a Hero's Choice chest. And if you're truly lucky, you can even get a super rare infusion, which is worth quite a bit of gold. For clarity's sake, I want to emphasize that the infusion is not part of the chest, but rather an extra drop, much like the Chak infusion in Tangled Depths or the Liquid Aurelium infusion in Auric Basin. Now, I and probably 99% of all players will open their Hero's Choice chest after they receive one, and select either the most expensive reward or some account bound items we might need and move on with our day. Other players might choose to keep them unopened in their inventory or bank for no other reason than trying to collect more of them than anyone else. When this video releases, 2281 days have elapsed since the launch of Path of Fire. But according to the patch notes, the Hero's Choice chest for the Casino Blitz event was only added on May 28th of 2019, which is 1668 days ago, which makes this number the logical limit of chests any one player could have collected, assuming they never opened a single one of them and participated in the meta event every single day. That's where Guild Wars 2 Efficiency comes into play. This website is one of the single greatest tools that allow you to track anything you own in the game and will even calculate your total account value. While you can only access your own specific data through the website, they do offer a leaderboard and statistics for any collectible in the game, be it items, titles, achievements, or anything else really. Being on top of their leaderboard doesn't give you any specific benefit in the game, but it's a fun objective you could set for yourself. Now, remember I mentioned the game doesn't always act the way the devs intended to? Well, this map's chest could be looted more than once per day. All you had to do was not accept the previous reward, and every time you would kill the piñata within the same day, you would get rewarded with another chest. This led to some people doing the event chain every 2 hours and collecting a nice surplus of chests. Or if they were really trying hard, join a second map that hadn't killed the piñata just yet to get a second Hero's Choice chest within the same hour. Guild Wars 2 Efficiency's leaderboards are a great way to track just how many times someone obtained this chest. And as you can see, some people smack that Choya around way more than most of us ever will. Remember, the theoretical limit to these chests, if no bugs were present in the game, should be 1668, which means the top 10 of people who hoarded their chests all found ways to collect more of them. I personally don't think it's that big of a deal, as I doubt they will ever open them. Although, if that top player ever chooses to, which I guess would take literal hours, he would be able to buy an extra item or two. See, I didn't know about this until earlier this year, and I took to Reddit to find an answer. As any good Redditor would do, instead of using the search function, I just made a new post. The kind people over there explained me what was going on, linked me to an older thread, as well as the patch notes in question. And the previous poster was a bit more diligent than I was and included a screenshot, instead of simply leaving a link to the leaderboards. In a thread posted on April 15 of last year, the top spot only held 3,560 chests, and at that point 1,053 days had passed since the introduction of this particular reward for this event chain, which means the person did the meta 3 to 4 times a day. Now, when I made a post a little over a year later, I mentioned it being 6,213 chests. There is no way for me to verify whether the current number 1 spot is the same player as the one who held the top spot in April of 2022, but we can eliminate a few names from the top 10 as there are some players with less hours played. But even if the top spot back then was held by the same player as the current one, it's rather safe to say this method hasn't truly been patched out yet. Now, I already mentioned this at the beginning of my video, I do not condone abuse of unintended game mechanics, and this might be one of them. I just like to look at these types of things as they're all part of the game's lore. Maybe not created or intended by the developers, but it's part of Guild Wars 2. Anyway, I'm gonna leave it at that for now, but I have a few more fun videos regarding leaderboard statistics coming up. So make sure you're subscribed, and it would really help me out if you could leave a comment and like the video.